So, introduction to functions. A function is a block of code which only runs when it is called. It means it's a function of code, or it only runs when it is called. You can pass data known as parameters into a function. Functions are used to perform certain actions, and they are important for using both define the code once and use it many times. Yeah, you can use the code as many times as you can. It's not limited. Create a function. C++ provides some predefined functions such as main, which is used to execute code. But you can also create your own functions to perform certain actions. To create often referred to as declare. A function is specify the name of the function followed by parentheses. Syntax void no function code to execute it. Function call. Declared functions are not executed immediately. They are saved for later use and will be executed later when they are called. To call a function, write the function's name aloud for function's name followed by two parentheses and a semicolon. In the following example, my function is used to print a text to the action when it is called. Example: include IOStream using namespace standard void my function count I just got executed increment my function return 0. Output is I just got executed. So here's the code. I use a function void my function, and here I could be print statement just I just got executed. There I went the function and then return and it is the output. Why use functions? Code reusability. Define a logic once and call it multiple times across the program 1 to 7. This eliminates the need to rewrite the same code for different inputs, significantly reducing redundancy. It helps to it helps to reduce the duplication, and once the code is saved, you don't have to write a new code. You can use the previous code or the same code and make some mod and make some sorry and make some modifications on them, so you don't have to write a new code. You can define a logic and call it multiple times. Modularity and organization. Functions allow you to break down large complex problems into smaller independent subtasks. This divide and conquer approach makes the overall program structure easier to understand, easier debugging and testing. When code is divided into discrete functions, it is easier to isolate and fix errors within a specific block without affecting the entire system. Function declaration and definition. Declaration, the return type, the name of the function and parameters. Defining. Definition, the body of the function code to existing text, void the function declaration, body of the function. Example, include IOStream using namespace std, void my function int main, my function call the function, return 0, void my function, I just got executed. Types of functions in C++. Standard library functions. These are built-in predefined functions provided by C++. Standard libraries like IOStream or CMath. Examples include sqrt, power, and getline. User-defined functions. These are created by the programmer to perform custom tasks specific to their application. Developers must declare and define these before use. Arguments and return type in C++. First, no, there are four arguments. First is no argument and no return values. These functions perform a specific task but do not require any input data from the calling function and do not send any results back. Return type use the void keyword parameter list left empty or marked with void. Here's an example: include IOStream using namespace std void greet int main greet return 0 void greet count. Welcome to C++ programming NDL count. This function has no arguments and no return value. NDL output. Welcome to C++ programming. This function has no arguments and no return value. With arguments but no return value, these functions receive data or its parameters to process but do not return a result to the caller. Return type use the void keyword. Usage often used for operations like printing process data or updating a global state. Example, include IOStream using namespace std void check number odd check even odd. We have the function name even or okay int main input in down int input count enter an integer sin input it check even or input return 0 void check even or int num if num percentage equals to 0 mod 0 mod is equal to 0 then count num is an even number and then or else count num is an odd number and their output enter 10 enter in so as an output enter the integer 10 or 10 is an even no argument but with a return value. These functions do not take any input from the caller but generate and return a value. Return type any valid data type, example int float string. Usage useful for retrieving status information or generating random values. Include IOString using namespace std int get number int main int result result is equals to get number count the value returned from the function is result and dl return 0 int get number in term count enter a number inside the function send num return num output enter a number inside the function 42 the value returned from the function is 42 with arguments and a return value. This is the most common type where a function receives input, processes it, and returns the result back to the caller. Return type any valid data type usage is standard for calculations and data transformation. Include IOString using namespace std int add numbers int a int b int main int num1 int num2 sum count enter to integers send num1 num2 sum add numbers num1 num2 count the sum of num1 and num2 is sum and real return 0 int add numbers int a int b int result is equal to int a plus b return result output enter to integers 10 20 the sum of 10 and 20 is 30. Conclusion. Versatility. C++ is a powerful general purpose language that supports multiple programming paradigms. Versatility. C++ is a powerful general-purpose language that supports multiple programming paradigms, including procedural, object-oriented, and generic programming. Efficiency and performance. It offers high-level abstractions while maintaining low-level control over system resources and memory, making it ideal for performance-critical applications. Who benefits? Features like encapsulation, inheritance, and for polymorphism allow for better code reusability, organization, and maintenance. Thank you.